Hello, my name is Nico Lee. I am the owner, creative director, and founder of NICO. So the story behind the brand is it was founded off of legacy. My great-grandmother was a dressmaker who didn't get to become a known dressmaker. You know, she lived a life as a seamstress, so I think it's kind of a divine circle that came back around. So the brand kind of relies off of this Tejano influence. Being from South Texas, there's always some degree of grit and deterioration mixed with the delicacy of the people around you. So with that factor of South Texas, I wanted to kind of show homage not only to the surroundings that I grew up in, but also to those who came before me. So the brand NICO is ultimately this love letter to South Texas and those who reside in it. So the brand is incredibly feminine, yet incredibly masculine at the same time. With evening wear, there's always this degree of hyperfemininity that people focus on, but I think we kind of tend to separate femininity, you know, from the garment and the person, and it's more of an overall emotion at this point. So there's always some degree of a frayed hem mixed in with a beautiful adornment of flowers. There's always some degree of exposed corsetry, but it's covered in the most luxurious silks. There's always some degree of fray around the dress, but it's in the most beautiful tulle. So it's this constant juxtaposition of delicacy and roughness, just like South Texas. So the inspiration behind this upcoming collection was ultimately, like I said previously, those who came before. So with that being said, this upcoming collection entitled La Doña de la Casa, the lady of the house, was all about painting a picture of what would have they worn, those who came before. You know, if the women of my life, the femme people of my life had the means to live in luxury, what would it look like? And we always keep in mind, you know, the environment of where people wear their fashions. And being in South Texas, you know, it's not the most, you know, normal environment for evening wear. And it's almost kind of painting a picture, you know, the mesquite thorns along the floor. What if they're snagging the hem of the dress? What if the flowers are so dried out and dead from the weather that those are the only flowers they can pin to their garment? What if these fabrics are so old and deteriorating, they have no other choice but to kind of have a Cinderella moment and pull it together somehow? So it's really about painting the picture of those who came before and showing homage to them, showing honor to them, and also showing light to what the reality is of those who don't have the means. And whenever they have to create their own fashions and they have to create their own ideology of what elegance and regality looks like. So the advice that I would have to young designers is it's not necessarily about, you know, having an idea that isn't good enough. It's more about having an execution and having the guts to do it. I think for me, being a person who, I don't come from much, I come from, you know, very low income communities in rural South Texas. There were sometimes no other options but to utilize curtains, sheets, discarded materials, thrifted materials, X, Y, and Z, and not necessarily worrying about the outcome of it, but worrying more about starting that process. So what I would say to young designers is start the process, whether it is just utilizing the most inexpensive fabrics you have, whether it is utilizing fabrics you already may have, repurposing old clothing, repurposing old sheets, dyeing the fabric, you know, get your hands dirty a little bit and I think especially being a self-taught person, there's no other teacher better than life itself, and just kind of rolling with it.